It's that time of the month again. It's time for The End Is.
Sigh.
Yes, it is.
He is laughing hysterically in his chair. He almost fell out, everyone.
I
He
did not
almost
almost
fell out
fall
of his
out.
chair.
If that little thing wasn't clicked in the chair, I would have fallen back. It randomly unclicks itself. I should have started with "It's that time of the week." To be fair, that's more accurate for the Indus side.
It is.
But I thought it'd be cheeky. Yeah. Welcome to the pod, guys. This is the pod where, aside from nonsense, we discuss movies, highly rated, underrated, greatly rated, normally rated, and everything in between. And now Nate's laughing. I don't know what's happening. And
Yeah, you guys haven't noticed, I'm Nate, and you are.
oh Jesus, I'm Todd. I'm
Okay,
Todd.
yeah.
But yeah, so in addition to those movies, and he's Nate and I'm Todd, we then also talk about the topics we find within those movies. And Nate, what was the movie we watched last week?
Last week we watched Accepted.
We sure did. So go give that a listen if you haven't already, or just jump right in. You don't have to have prior movie knowledge to do the topic. So from those from that movie, we found two topics that we want to discuss as armchair experts, not to steal from another podcast title. But yeah, Nate, what is your topic?
This week it is going to be hazing.
That's right. And I am going to be doing The Fall of College. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. But before that, let's how's the week going?
Yeah, week's not been bad. It's mundane. You get in your life and you just go through the same notions. There's nothing crazy or exciting usually happening, but you just try to make the excitement that you try to make yourself, if that makes sense.
Did you try to play off of make meaning out of the meantime, but
No,
it
I was trying
immediately?
to say something, and then of course that popped in my mind as I was trying to think. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this.
It's happening, everybody! It's happening. Yeah, I don't even know how to help you recover from that one, but yeah, the weeks go by, Nate, and we just keep on trucking, and you try to get from one to the next. It's like a living paycheck to paycheck, but we're living moment to moment on this podcast. That's our new tagline: moment to moment with the Indus side. And Nate reminded me, I will blow up his spot on chat, that we forgot to say our names last episode. So you know what? This doesn't help you guys, but that's good. That's good for Todd to notice when he goes to edit that one.
I feel like it's always good of learning from your mistakes. You just tend to learn a little bit better, I think.
Like if you continually make them, or like a one and done mistake.
One and done, but we continuously
Yeah, we
make
keep
those
doing it,
mistakes
so we
on
don't necessarily learn from
But
them.
it's we realize after the fact. I feel like when you call us out more frequently on it, then it'll happen.
That's
So guys, write in. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, we love write-ins. You know how to find us. I'll put my exact coordinates into the episode notes if you guys would like.
Yeah, as previous, you guys know his sense of direction is great.
We don't bring up that episode. Todd is shamed. Okay, I am thoroughly shamed. But I still get to my destinations. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, right? Speaking of not learning from our mistakes or trying to grow and go beyond, for this week, I know last week we had mentioned neighbors and maybe some issues with neighbors and stuff like that. And for quite a while, I've personally been dealing with some neighbors that. Now, the thing is, I don't even know if they know what they're doing wrong. And that's my bad, right? Because I have not done the neighborly knock on the door. Hey, guys, shut the fuck up. Like, I haven't done that, right? Like, I haven't done the hey. Because here's the issue. So, upstairs in this setup are the bedrooms.
You're all in a townhome, right?
Yeah, and they all share
Okay.
walls. There's I've got one on each side of me, and there's I don't know, 6 or so in a row. But obviously, all the bedrooms are on this one side. We all share walls. My neighbor, ever since they moved in about just a year ago or so, has started playing music.
Oh no.
Between midnight and 6 a.m. They start it then. I can't emphasize it enough. And it's loud enough to where I can hear it it wakes me up when I'm sleeping. So I've been dealing with that for a long time, but it's this noise, like it's always like boo, boo, boo. So it's like, dude, obviously I'm gonna wake up to these goddamn tones. Yeah,
What are they playing?
but they've been playing the same shit for the year or whatever. And so then for a little while it kind of went away, and I did the banging on the walls, and then I'd get petty and I'd start playing. I got my two like separate Sony speakers, put them against the wall, and blasted that shit all day one time, and just left. And it was
Yeah, yeah. So
beautiful.
definitely, you're not helping the situation.
No,
You're throwing gasoline
I
on that fire.
you see this is where people are like, Todd, be the bigger man, be the bigger person, right? Just go knock and let them know. And I'm like, they should know this. I don't like having to coddle people that should already know this. Okay, I think I don't know. I this is where the story doesn't make me look great, because I should have just handled this like a mature adult, but I did not in this case. But so finally, I got woken up a couple nights ago, and I looked at my phone to see what time it was, and then I just happened to be on. I think my Spotify was on, and then it popped up with join jam session. So now I've got the picture, got the name, and I've got the playlist. And it's meditation sounds, it's deep sleep sounds, it's strangers and pathways
Oh
and
no.
healing. Like, that's why these tones are hitting me, because it's like meditation. I don't think I quite explained it. Like, my bed isn't like, my head isn't against the wall, right? And I have a padded backboard, and I never hear people talking. But so that must mean they're playing the music loud enough to be, better. It's the better time of night and level of volume, right? So I go in there. I changed my name as the person joining the jam, right? And it wasn't.
Wait, did you create like a whole new account or something?
No,
Or
no, no.
just
It just says
okay?
like, what, pick your name before you join the thing. And so I was like, well, I
Okay.
can rename myself. There's a thing on TikTok and other things where you see it's SYBAU that people use all the time, and that stands for shut your bitch ass up. And I like to drop that on, like, every time I see it being dropped in comments, it always makes me laugh, because it's such just like an offhand, like, it's just a dumb little saying, you're right? People just do it to get around it, and no one ever flags it. So I changed my name to Shibao or whatever, And then I jump in there and I immediately pause the song and then leave the thing. And I hear it go off in my room, and I slept so good. I smiled and went to sleep. But here's where I wish I was just a non-caring human, right? Because I woke up and I was like, or I will say, what happened immediately after I logged off, I was like, oh, okay, so it worked, and I'm going to and I did go to sleep, and it was nice. But for like a minute, I was like, well, if they know what that stands for, that's so mean. Just, I don't like the idea of having the bitch ass part in there, because I didn't think about it as like calling somebody that. I was just like, shut your bitch, like just an offhand remark. And so then I went and changed my name again to just back to normal stuff. And then I was like, well, hopefully if they see it in the morning, it just says the normal name popped in, and then that's all they got. But if they did get it, so then when I woke up, I had this like guilt, this human guilt of like, oh no, what if I just ruined her entire day? And then the family that lives there like knows about it. Now I'm the asshole that lives next door. But I was like, but they've played it for so long, so loud, that like there's that the devil and angel on my shoulder of like, screw you, you know better, and I should have been the bigger person. So I'm really battling demons over here. It's one battle after another, really.
I'm just imagining that person is having a weird conversation through someone's username of like, okay, shut your bitch ass up. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. And then the next time they play it, and it's just your username constantly going through the notion of, oh my God, you're annoying. Stop it again.
I
To
didn't go that
just,
far. So yeah, I mean, I could have escalated and just kept changing the name, or I could have added songs, right? I can do other stuff into the jam session, right? But I didn't. I just paused it, went off, and then the thing is, last night, no music. So I don't know. I don't know if it worked or it just happened to be an off night. But I did feel bad. Like, I'm like, oh no, next time I make eye contact with these people. But so yeah, that guys, I know, I'm shamed. I should be a bigger person, and I'm too old for these shenanigans. But I was just so mad that somebody didn't care. It's like people talking in a movie theater or getting on their phones. You don't treat them with
yeah.
decency anymore, right? Because you're like, better. And why do I have to be the bigger person, like leave to go get a manager and miss the movie? Like, why do I have to do all this extra stuff when you should just get shamed and move along? So,
Yeah, I have done that before in
oh,
the middle of the night. Got up, had my pajamas on, went up to the room above us, and had to tell them, hey, you guys need to keep it down.
Don't be the bigger man here. Don't make
It was
me.
like 2 in the morning. We were up in Estes Park, and
Mm,
the room above us was just having a grand old time. It's fine. You can enjoy yourself, but it's 2 in the morning. You're at a
yep.
hotel. Everyone should be roughly, hopefully, on the same sleep schedule.
Yep.
Went upstairs, and there was probably like 16 people in that room. It
Ooh.
was insane.
Was that intimidating when they opened the door?
No, I was tired. I wanted
So
to
your
sleep.
anger was there, like the grumpiness was there.
It was more just like, hey, could you guys keep it down? We're trying to sleep below. Just really appreciate if you just
Yeah,
calm
you
down.
did it the right way, and they.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, they well, that's good. So A, that's good. B, you did it on also behalf of somebody with you. I don't like if somebody
Yeah.
was here with me, then I'm not doing the petty stuff. Then I have to go do the. All right, I'll go knock on the goddamn door. I'll be the bigger person because now I got to put on a face. But like I didn't have that, so I could be petty, right? Even though I don't feel good about it. You had somebody to like. You can't just be like, go back to bed or darn them. Like you can't do that because you're just escalating, right? You have to be like. It's like when you're
Knocking
in
the broom on the wall.
Yes, trust me. I lived in an apartment in California, and the neighbor up there probably was just tiptoeing, but it sounded like a herd of elephants, as they say, and they got the broom to the ceiling. It was classic evilness between neighbors. But yeah, anyway, that long story short, hopefully there's no more loud music, but there probably will be. I don't know what my anger level is going to happen if it happens again, because then I'll be like, well, they didn't even see the first thing. But if I keep logging in and turning it off, I don't know if they'll figure it out or not. But anyway,
Maybe just start playing some random songs on there, like Hush Little Baby, Don't Say a
I was
Word.
gonna I was gonna play this is the song that never ends and just put it on a loop for 24 hours. So that's stuck in their head. But again, I didn't get that petty. I just turned off their music. I changed my username and turned off their music. That's all that happened, but it's still, I don't know. I'm living in shame here. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my update. It wasn't, it's not the most exciting. But yeah. Nate, let's go on to a bigger and better things, okay? Before we jump into the topics of the week, do you have
Yep.
I introduced this category last week. Do you have any ins and outs for the week?
This is your claim to fame. I'm going to let you keep it.
Okay. Next week, guys, let's hold him to it. He's got to come up at least 1 week of it. All right.
What? No, I said this is your claim to fame. I'm not a part of this. I'm out. I am out of this.
You want me to share this gold with you?
You're the in,
All right.
I'm the out. We did it.
But I think you might agree with one at least. I don't know if you know about the second one. So, what's out? The Duffer Brothers. The Duffer Brothers are out. If you know, you know. Have you watched the documentary? What are you doing? It's egregious. It's egregious to fumble a bag that hard. It's Game of Thrones all over again. So
I haven't watched the documentary, but I've seen people say certain things, and I feel like part of me needs to possibly look into it. But apparently, they had Chat GPT
on one
open.
of their screens. Yep.
Yeah.
So that alone for a writer for a main show that they started, it's been 10 years and they had like 3 years in between seasons. So this is Stranger Things, guys. If you don't know what the Duffer Brother is, Stranger Things season 5 came out. It fell off a fucking cliff. But the Duffer Brothers had like 3 years to make this final season, and then they started shooting the final season and still didn't have a finished script.
That's
And they admit that,
insane
and you're
to
like,
me.
what are you doing? Like, that's such disrespectful to... Anyway, so the Duffer
I
Brothers
feel
are out.
like when you start a show, you should have an ending in mind no matter what.
Well, they claim
That's
they did. We planned this from season 1. The fuck you did, dude. Everybody
Yeah, no, you
knows that
didn't.
season 1 is nothing like season 3, 4,
Netflix
5.
realized, oh shit, this is a hit. Here's a big check. Can you continue on? Okay, yeah, we'll stretch it out more and more.
Yeah, well, and that's the same thing that happened with the Game of Thrones guys. It was 2 guys
hmm
that had this great series of all time, right? This whole thing. And then they were like, let's just phone it in because we want to get out of here. And I think these guys are also trying to go do other projects. I can't remember what it was, but they're also like in talks to do other things. It's like, dude, just finish the thing that made you famous. Otherwise, do you see what happened to the people that did the
Yeah.
Game of Thrones? They went nowhere. Okay. But
You
anyway,
think
they're
it's just
out.
like issues with brothers? They just bicker back and forth and just
I don't
have
think
that
I don't think the
sibling.
Game of Thrones guys were brothers, were they?
I don't know.
It was like Weiss and
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
David
Yeah,
Weiss
and
and
listen to a struggle.
sorry
Listen
to
to a
the other
struggle.
guy.
So, yeah, not really. But anyway, what is in for this week is the Anna Kasparian debate against Pearl, whatever her name is. I don't know if you've like Google this, guys. It's great. So Pearl is this right wing, just like talking head that just is the most evil things. Like women crash planes and women can't do. Like she's just a self hating, talking head bullshit asshole. And Anna Kasparian is very intelligent, and they do a debate, and she starts asking her questions and just calls her out on her bullshit. Like, what are you doing here, Pearl? Like, what did you make that up and whatever? And this chick, this bravado chick on live stage just freezes, dead silent, just doesn't know what to say, and people in the audience were like, she's not talking, and it's the most awkward thing you've ever seen. It's so great though, because in real life they just can't back up what their angry rhetoric is. But anyway, go watch that. It's great.
All right.
So that's my recommendation for you also then, apparently,
I
Nathaniel.
got some homework from Todd.
But, all distractions aside, we are here to talk about topics related to Accepted. Nate, did you want to start, or would you like me to go?
I'll go ahead and start us off with this week.
Love it.
My topic for this week is hazing, and it is not lighthearted or funny in any way.
Well, okay. Before that, have you ever been hazed? Have you ever had to do hazing?
I have been part of hazing, so it's weird because
You're the bully?
no, I've been hazed.
Oh, I thought you said part of the hazing. Okay.
My experience wasn't bad with it by any means. I feel like it was, I don't want to say acceptable hazing, but like
There
initiation.
That's fair. Like we used to work at a grocery store, and you would have like the new person go shake up the dressing bottles.
Yeah,
That's hazing technically, and it's all in good fun. There's
yeah.
no harm. So there are levels, but when you're talking about, yeah. So anyway, that was just a side
Either
note.
way, I was freshman high school, played soccer, and from there, the freshmen pretty much were required to carry the equipment out to the practice fields and carry it back. And that's kind of the hazing I was part of.
Okay, so it was just more like we did the stuff when we were there, and like the heavy labor or whatever. Now you're doing the heavy labor.
Yeah. So I feel like it's
Okay.
not that bad. There was a point though where one of the kids, I guess classmates, he wasn't a kid because I was a kid with him. Either way, that doesn't matter.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. He was going to be on varsity team, but because he didn't want to carry the equipment, he quit. So instead of just keep going, he quit because he didn't want to carry the equipment because he was a
I
freshman. He
respect
thought
that.
he was better than everyone as a varsity player, therefore shouldn't have had to carry the equipment.
Okay, I forget. I said I respect that. I respect the I'm not doing that. I'm out because I've pulled that before, but like not if you think you're better than everybody.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of yeah. But I do. You said initiation. I think that's a much better way for that one, right? Is like, hey,
Yeah.
we did it. You've got to do it. Like it's always, especially with sports, it seems to happen. Like, hey, we got to earn your stripes, as
Yeah.
they say.
You're
So yeah,
the low man on the totem pole. You're going to just kind
yeah,
of help out with this stuff.
yeah. And carrying the equipment is nothing like obviously what I'm assuming you're about to get into.
Exactly. So yeah, hazing refers to any activity that is conditioned upon recruitment, admission, affiliation, or continued participation in a group that humiliates, degrades, abuse, or endangers someone, regardless of consent or a person's willingness to participate.
Okay, okay, sounds
So
about
this is
right.
all from Colorado.org, and pretty much, if you're in a college, every college is pretty much against hazing at this point. You can go on to their website, figure it out. This is all based off of CU and how they say, hey, hazing's not acceptable, zero tolerance policy on it.
Yep.
And I think actually, from something I saw, it was back in 2019, 44 states made it illegal for hazing.
Oh wow, and that's 2019. That's so recent too.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how recent that hazing became illegal in states.
Yeah, I mean, good.
And yes, definitely good because yeah, hazing is just a form of bullying at this point.
Yeah, it's just humiliation to feed egos.
And sadly, that humiliation even is worse than just humiliation. So I got some examples from back in the day.
Uh-oh.
This is maybe trigger warning for anyone out there.
Uh-oh.
All right, so the first one I have here is Alfred University. It's Zeta Beta Tau fraternity. This was February 9th, 2002.
I also not even, I thought you were going to start in like the 70s or 80s. Okay, 2002.
Yeah, these are all 2002, 10, and 11.
Okay.
When Bradley Calkins and Thomas Lamb found out that fellow frat brother Benjamin Klein had been vocal about hazing rituals being practiced in Zeta Beta Tau, they tied him up and beat him in a hotel room, holding his head under running water with a bathtub until he agreed not to leave the room. 3 days later, his body was found under in a creek behind the frat house. His death was ruled a suicide. A month after Klein's death, Alfred University permanently banned fraternities and sororities.
Holy shit. I was like, okay, so
So,
they waterboarded him. That's horrible. And then cut to Jesus.
yeah, so like I said, not light stories by any means. These are all from complex.com, and it's just crazy. Fraternities I never understood to begin with, or sororities. It's just a club. What it does for you, I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but
It's connections. Like, I've seen both sides argue it. Obviously, the bad side of it is like the connections, because it's just nepotism. It's the legacies. The parents got in, so
mhm,
I get in, and that just feeds this incestuous money train, right? And that's just not good. And it just gets, oh, I'm in power. I'm going to get you in power. That kind of shit. And it's not for good. It's just because they think they earned it. And then
yeah,
the other side is like, well, I met friends and we had actual, communities, and we'd go out and help the surrounding area, and we do, fundraisers and blah blah blah, and we bonded. So it's like, yeah, obviously you're going to get those types of frats, and I don't know what it shakes out to be like, if there's more bad or good, but yeah, it's it's a fine line between good and
yeah.
bad frat.
Either way, it's got to be rough that if you state, "Oh, I was part of Zeta Beta Tau," and they're like, "Oh, the fraternity that got completely banned from that campus, they pretty much
Right.
banned every fraternity and sorority because of you guys."
I assume it, I mean, we're not opening up a case here, but like I assume it's because he decided he's not going to obviously stay quiet about it. Like, yeah, you know what? That's, they always say torture doesn't work, and that's basically what they were doing. And if you say, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and then he probably was like, well, now I'm definitely going to tell, then ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and like the source you're reading from, we are a complex podcast. Okay, we got the light and the dark, baby.
So the second one I have here is Cornell University.
Mm,
It was Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity.
okay.
It was February 25th, 2011.
Ooh. Okay.
19-year-old uh, 19-year-old Cornell sophomore George Dustoon, a member of SAE, was kidnapped in a reverse hazing ritual and tied up with duct tape and zip ties by freshman pledges. Along with another brother, he was then blindfolded and asked trivia questions about the fraternity. The penalty for answering wrong was being forced vodka, pixie sticks, hot sauce, chocolate powder, and dish soap continually.
What?
His vomiting came yeah, intermittently.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, Dustoons was left on the couch in the fraternity, where he was found dead in the morning. 4 students have since been charged in connection to his death and are currently awaiting trial. Granted, this was a while back. I'm pretty sure that trial has happened, but
So so it's already bad enough that they chose the all the different types of substances.
mhm.
4 of those, right, are edible.
Yep.
Why would you add in the dish soap?
I don't know.
I
It's
and reverse hazing to get to, like, you've made it beyond that stage, and then to have that, like, what then, what again, to your, like, what's the point?
yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It's just one of those things why hazing became a thing, and
It's
it's
power.
one of those. It sucks too because in movies, shows, it's depicted as, oh, it's fun, lighthearted, it's gonna get a laugh
Yes.
out of it, but there's so much of a darker undertone that you don't see.
Oh, absolutely. I just,
Is
yeah.
what
And I
Animal
can
House was
picture,
that one that had,
there's a, yeah, there's the
yeah,
Animal House is a big one. There's
So,
like all sorts of. I mean, there's a bunch of movies in the past, at least, that have done that kind of stuff. But yeah,
and then for the last one I have is from Texas Christian University.
TCU. Okay.
Yep, Kappa Sigma fraternity. This was January 8th, 2010. While on a fraternity skiing trip, Aaron Carter IV was asked to show his pride for his fraternity in a brutally unique way by being branded with the frat's Greek letters with a hot iron hanger on his butt cheek, a request he drunkenly obliged to. But when he passed out, his brothers continued to brand him, this time with Tri Delta sorority letters, which resulted in second and third degree burns that would require six
Yeah.
surgeries to repair. Since coming out with his story, Carter has been shunned by his former frat brothers, who believe it is a rite of passage and one Carter willingly submitted to.
Do they all have that branded on their asses?
I have no idea, but either way, the fact that he willingly submitted to the first one, but not when he passed out and they decided to
Right.
keep going.
Well, that's
And
the frat
even
boy
then,
motto, right?
I just find it crazy of like, oh, Texan Christian University. Just
There's no hate like Christian love, as they say.
it's just one of those where it's just ridiculous that hazing should not be a thing.
Yeah.
If are dealing with any of that, make sure to go to the correct people because you don't have
Hopefully
to
they'll protect you.
give into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's organizations, counseling, and deans and stuff at colleges.
Yeah, your school websites will have stuff on it of, hey, it's not allowed. There's a long list that Colorado.org had where they broke it down to 3 different categories
That's
and
good.
gave like 15 different descriptions of what hazing was in each category.
So there are
So,
resources out there.
yeah.
Well, and unfortunately, like almost one of the best ways to get it stopped is to go to the media.
Yep.
Go to some local news and be like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. A journalist will bite at the chomp to get that story.
Hmm.
And then that's what gets, like, once you shame the university, that's when action gets taken. They will
Yep.
quickly cover it up if they don't think anybody's going to know about it.
Oh, yeah. The university does not want that out there because that's going to ruin their reputation. People aren't going to want to go to that school.
Yeah. Like I said, I guarantee none of the other guys have those brands on them. You can't call it a rite
Yeah.
of passage if you literally didn't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then I can picture all of them. I know what they look like. And again, it's just power. It's a power trip.
Yeah. Are you imagining them with like visors and like gel coming out their hair?
If I was, actually that for early 2000s, maybe. Yeah. The 2010, 11 feels so recent, even though it's technically not. But I would picture, I mean, you can picture like the crew cut, right? And they skipped leg
Polos.
day, but everything else they have, polos and I'm not, yeah, Frosted Tips might be a little too early 2000s, but something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too scared to be in the military, but want all the power of that,
Yeah.
Ugh.
So sorry for that dark story, but
Yeah.
either way, it's good to know
Screw
these
you.
things.
Yeah. And now I'm going to bully you into never bringing that up again. All right. Don't you ever do that on this pod. This is why we talk about them. There's things that you got to know. I mean, it's just, if that helps one person, hey, it's all worth
That's
it.
all I
Baby.
ask for.
Yeah. All right. Is that anything else on hazing, or would you?
I got nothing else on it.
Okay. Then we can move into the fall of college, my topic for the week. And it's called the fall of college because we know that the feelings around going to college are deteriorating. College isn't this prestige like experience that everybody, maybe you grew up in like the 80s or 90s. It's like everybody's got to go to college. Now the conversations are shifting. I think that every generation more and more people opt not to go, or they see the writing on the wall as society changes. So I started looking into that, and right as I began, I started to think about how, obviously with this being a movie podcast, how media shapes our experience and our perception of these things. And for college, Nate, can you name me one recent movie that was about college?
Recent movie that was about college. Oh gosh.
Does, even off the top of your head, does anything even come to mind of like, oh, that
No.
funny story about college kids?
No, I can't think of anything actually right now.
I couldn't either. And I Googled around, right? And they've stopped making that because it's just not in vogue, right? I mean, there's obviously going to be outliers and some indie stuff or whatever. There might be things out there. But I mean, I was listing off the ones that came up, and they're all from at least, a decade ago. And you've got like old school, Pitch Perfect, Animal House, The Social Network, Road Trip, Legally Blonde, Revenge of the Nerds, Van Wilder, Dead Man on Campus, Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, Neighbors, Blue Mountain State, which is a movie / show, so that's both. American Pie, After One, that was high school, but they were going into college. And those are, I mean, we always had a slew of like party guy college movies and how fun it was to go. And now it's just whoosh, nothing. It's whispers. There's no one's, and Accepted. Obviously, I didn't put Accepted because we just talked about it, but that is one of those. But then obviously that came out in 2006. So movies tend to reflect what current society is thinking about certain activities, and college has fallen off the wayside. So I asked, why? Why is that the case? And to cite my sources as well, I read one on NPR, and it's an article called The Demographic Cliff, which is a play on demographic shift. But they call it the cliff because according to them on January 8th, 2025, so just a year ago, this came out. The demographic cliff has been predicted ever since Americans started having fewer babies at the advent of the Great Recession around the end of 2007, meaning a falling birth rate that has not recovered since, except for a slight blip after the COVID-19 pandemic, because everybody was locked in and decided we might as well have kids. I don't know. Which was reported. They got that data from the CDC, but even though I didn't quite read that as it's laid out in front of me, they were basically saying demographic for going to college is falling off a cliff because 18-year-olds are becoming less and less that would be going into the college market, right? So, and they said that in 2024, the high school class seniors that graduate in the spring in 2024 are the last before a long decline starts of 18-year-olds going in the traditional age when they go into college. This is a lot of verbiage to say that, hey, there's just not enough babies being made to then go to college, right? So that's just a natural thing of kind of how society is progressing, and that why rates have declined. They also say they estimate that in 10 years, there will be 15% fewer 18-year-olds graduating and going to college per year than there are now. And that's a lot. 15% dip by 2036, around there. Like that's a huge drop. And that obviously flows into the rest of society of less people going in to get education. Universities start to shutter.
Yeah.
And I will say there's a fun air quotes fact here. In the first half of 2024, more than one college a week announced that it would close. Like one a week. That's staggering. So again, if 18-year-olds aren't going to college because they're not being born, colleges have no one to enroll. They must shut down. How many colleges are there, by the way, if one a week can shut down? I feel like they're banks and liquor stores. They should be on every corner. Oh, there's that college.
Yeah, they're just popping up, People just create them on their own.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, a South Harmon Institute of Science campus might actually be possible because you're going to have a lot of empty buildings. And if you don't know what we're referring to, obviously listen to Accepted from the last episode. But apparently there's a bright side. They say that colleges...
Sorry, I just wanted to add in a little bit of information.
Go ahead.
So there's about 6,000 colleges in USA.
Oh, really? 6 in the United States. Or 6K in the United States.
Yeah.
So that is quite a bit. I wonder if they're all in like East Coast. There's not really... I'm struggling to picture them like just by name, like the top ones, but I guess if they're accounting for, community colleges, and stuff
community
like that,
junior colleges.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's no, I don't think trade schools would be part of that. You think they would be part of that?
It depends on how much I'm going to pad those numbers.
Yeah, all right.
But either way, 6K, even if you do include those, is still a lot. So
yeah. But
again, so apparently there's a bright side. The colleges and universities, on average, are admitting a larger proportion of their applicants than they did 20 years ago. So, and I had to make a side note. I was like, great, because where was that for me? Okay. So that would have been my timeline 20 years ago. That would have been me going into college, right? Or, somewhere in there in that range. And I was not accepted into my college of choice So then I went to community college and then was welcomed into my college and then graduated and eventually worked there. All this stuff. Like, so it's like, please, I would have, can you imagine my trajectory had I just gone to college then right off the bat?
Yeah.
I don't know where I would be right now. I'd probably be a billionaire.
You'd have a podcast empire, guys.
It would be like the end is high, and I'd be like, everything's great. Money, money, please.
You'd be like, no neighbor issues
Right?
at all.
It's just a moat around me. It'd be
You guys imagine Happy Todd?
yeah. You guys would hate Happy Todd. Somehow he's worse than Angry Todd, and that's like the Hulk. I'm always angry. But anywho, back to the fall of college. According to the Pew Research Center, 1 in 4 Americans believe that having a bachelor's degree is extremely or very important to get a good job. And we all know the old motto growing up, like, you need a college degree or you're never going to get hired. You'll never have a successful job if you don't get a college degree, yada, yada, yada. And movies, back that up, everything like that. But to their credit, usually these movie stories were like, you need a degree, and then the kid would like prove them wrong. It's kind of a, so at least the movies were trying to do it better. But I do think that college offers like a great experience to get people out of their echo chambers and allows them to integrate into, cultures they would otherwise never have, been introduced to. You can learn to empathize with one another. And again, like we said, to draw back to the last episode again, like in Accepted, when they got to choose all their courses themselves or, get to learn what they were really dreaming of, then I think that expands the mind. And I think it's a positive net result for society if people get to go and expand their horizons.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's delightful Todd talking.
Delightful Todd. Is this a Stranger Things callback?
Yep.
Let's see. And then I will add another caveat. Dude, this is why I need to go to college. Caveat is that it should be free.
Yeah.
Now, I think when I say like I think people should go to college to like get certain, freedoms of expression and all that, I think it should be free because at the rate it is now, it's not feasible. Even at a junior college, like you said, like it's not even feasible for some people. Like it should just always be free. Education should be free. It shouldn't come with this crazy price tag that makes people go into debt just to try and fucking learn about the world. We only live one life, like, and we're wasting the rest of our years after we've learned to pay back that shit. Like that's when you start accepting bullshit jobs and blah blah blah.
Well, I think also nowadays we have the internet. Everything's very accessible to learn stuff. That's where also I feel people that learn stuff on the internet are just as capable that people go to college and learn stuff.
So you're talking about like YouTube education and university and stuff.
YouTube and just whatever else is online to your
That's fair
abilities.
Well, speaking of, that's a great segue for me because my next point on here was why I think people less and less go to college, or the 1 in 4 don't believe that college degree is necessary to get success. Is that you've got people like Mr. Beast and other social influencers making billions of dollars and becoming famous, and without having gone through the college experience. They're showing you that you don't need to. You can just have a shtick or a niche, and you can just go on and be a successful person that everybody loves. But and so I looked into Mr. Beast, and he attended one semester before dropping out because his YouTube started taking off. I mean, and it shows because the dude's personality is what I describe as a sentient mannequin. The dude is a creepy little weirdo. But like he proves to these kids watching it that, I'll be like just like Mr. Beast. I don't have to go to college. I'll just start a YouTube channel and I'll get rich and famous, and that's it. And while it works for some people, it doesn't work for everybody. I mean, hell, some of these people are making what we make in a year with one post, and that hurts in the soul. But I mean, and maybe that's exaggerating, but not for all of them. Some are making crazy money. But it shows these people in high school, people that are leaving, like, well, why would I go and sit through classes and sign a contract basically for loans or whatever if I can just go talk to people on the internet and they'll pay me to do it. Like it just, I don't know. There's no motivation there for a lot of people when you see these people get successful. But again, that's why I go back to you get more from college than just the education. I think there's core tenets that, help people learn, but also just the socialization. And sometimes a lot of college like experiences make you travel somewhere else, right? So you get exposed to a new area, and you're not in this echo chamber. It's just everything is an echo chamber until experiences take you out of them. And I think college is a good way for that. But again, caveat all the way through, it's got to be free, because it's grand in my head, but it's got to be accessible. And on a personal note, have you seen that it's ever been the case that you need a degree to get a job?
It's always one of those things like, hey, you look through job descriptions, and it's, oh, we're asking for someone with this degree, whatever it may be. But there's always, I think, like that fine line of like, oh, someone with experience as well.
Right. Like it's get these degrees almost as like a line item. Like we got to put that, but if they don't have it, as long as they have the experience or if they know somebody, we'll let
Yeah.
that slide. Yeah. And I've gotten good jobs in the past. I've never once been asked about my education, about college. They've never cared whether I got the degree. None of that mattered. It was always, I don't know, personality hire or basically the skills that I had.
Personality. Okay.
No, and that I don't want to come off. That's not okay. Let me explain what that means. Okay, it's not there. There has to be. I have like a portfolio of work, right? So there is that, but like I lead with humor and like like my personality of like, hey, I'm easy to work with, and I'm a down to earth, and I want to help the team. Blah 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 blah. That's what I lead with, and then I've heard in plenty of interviews or like jobs that I have gotten like, hey, it was your intro. It was my first conversation. It was the picture you put on your bio or whatever. Like it's that stuff that has like moved the needle to get me hired over other candidates. I've heard that multiple times, and I'm like, okay, so there's a lot to be said of like, it's not just what's on the paper. It's like the person you're hiring. And I like to believe that happens more than it doesn't, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. So no, guys, I'm not that stuck up. Okay, I'm not. I don't. I'm very self-deprecating, and that makes my face turn red. Even the idea that Nate knows, but he's still using it against me. When I said personality, however, it's not like a good thing. It was like, hey, we saw beyond just like maybe I didn't have the technical skills, but I can learn, and I wouldn't be a douchebag in the office with people. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense, guys. Man, between my lack of direction and now I look like this
This is great for me.
yeah, this is all right. We're canceling the pod again. All right, we made it. We made it. What, 4 episodes? I think we're good. I think we'll.
Yeah, 5 actually. Come on, get the math right.
Is this the 5th? I'll see you in I'll see you in 3 years, guys. All right, but I digress. All right, so all that aside, I continued looking into it, and Gallup, which is a big survey organization, they did a study with Illumina Foundation, and it was called the 2025 State of Higher Education, and it included responses from nearly 14,000 U.S. adults aged 18 to 59 who do not have a college degree. And it says, despite 57% of adults not enrolled in a degree or credential program reporting that they have considered enrolling in the past 2 years, there are many factors they reported for not going or stopping their coursework if they were enrolled. And can you think of maybe the top reasons somebody would respond? Like if they asked you, why wouldn't you go to college?
Money?
Money's up there, but it's number 3.
Oh.
Surprising, right?
Huh.
I was surprised. But I was surprised until I found out what 1 and 2 were.
The classes you have to take?
No, that's even further down. Since you're going further down, I'll go further up, okay? The
Okay.
number 1 reason, or the number 2 and number 1 are basically, they're very close, but number 1 is emotional stress. Just simply society and their life. It's too emotionally stressful to go into it. And number 2 is personal mental health. So they're very similar, but it's
Yeah.
all mental health. Like I just can't function and go sign up and do this. There's too much going on. I don't have the means. It's a lot of factors that go into that, but
I'm curious, out of those 1 and 2s,
mhm.
how much of it is also related to money?
Oh,
Because it's like, oh, I have to
yeah.
get a job. I need to go to class. I need to still do homework. I need to write this paper. compared to
No, that's a
someone that just is like, hey, here's some money. It's mom and dad's money, but I can go to college and they give me an allowance every week still. It's all paid for, and how much more easier it is probably for those.
I don't want to admit this, but I think you're 100% right. Okay, so don't clip
Yes.
this. I clip these, so I'm not going to clip that one. But I do think you nailed it in that. I mean, money is technically reported 3, but dude, it's what our society runs on, unfortunately. And so,
Hmm.
if you can't pay rent, or if you're worried, well, I can either go to school or I can go to my job. You're going to go to your job
Yeah.
because then you still need to buy food.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
It's
after 4 years, or depending on your program, if you want to be a doctor, something way longer, yeah, you can't picture 4 years out, right? And be like, well, then I'll start buying stuff. You need it now.
yeah. Well, especially too of once you get out of college, some of those jobs that you do find, oh, we need you to intern for us for at least, a year, and then we'll start looking at actually hiring you,
Yep.
which makes it that much harder. And that's where I think, yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but it gives you peace of mind.
Oh, yes. I don't know why I always picture the movie. Oh, it's about the kid that gets a windfall. He names himself Mr. Macintosh, and he like goes and gets a mansion and a limo driver, and fuck, and he dances with that chick in the
Richie
water.
Rich?
No, but I
No.
mean,
You're probably
he's
explaining a movie that I haven't seen.
blank check.
No, I
Okay.
haven't seen it.
Blank check is so this kid gets this money. His life's great. And I this is I don't know why, because this is a little kid that gets a bunch of money and just spends it like crazy. But nothing, I mean, he's everything, like he would just live. I mean, obviously the movie has contrivances that, make this a big issue and whatever. There's some mob stuff in there, I think. But um just having the amount of money as like a kid or like a young adult or a college student, whatever, yeah, you're just going and doing the things you love. You don't on, and then again, you don't also care that you're getting the education if you're rich, right? Because the world's catered to you at that point. And so, yeah, I mean, if I didn't have to pay rent, why would I keep going to my job? But I just wouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously rent and including food and travel, whatever like
yeah.
that. But I mean, if I'm not even to pay my rent, what kind of situation I get myself into? But I just, yeah, I would love to be able to just not worry about that. And I think mental health is strictly tied to income. Anyway, that's another squirrel. I talked about blank check, but the listing out the other factors was, like you said, the next one was course difficulty. They've got a job. Like, should I get a job or should I get that? Like, that's was listed on there. Lack of remote learning, so it's access again. It takes too long. Like I said, 4 years, whatever. You just don't. That it seems insurmountable to a lot of people. So there's so many factors against it. And then the last one was that they weren't prepped enough with the K to 12 education. And you kind of mentioned that earlier when we were talking about, or was this last episode? I don't even know at this point. Like where the K to 12 should have given you your basics and your cores, and you shouldn't have to worry about like how to file taxes or do
Yeah.
stuff like that once you get into college. That should have already been done. And so like, well, I don't have enough of those skills to go in and start my life on my own and then also manage workloads and blah blah blah. But so yeah, I know like they might be accepting more people because you have to, right? Like if you have attendance going down and people aren't going in there and there's less people to go in there because we're not having kids, you got to start accepting more people.
It's a business. They still need
Yeah.
money.
Yep. It is a business. So I say just let people go get an education, let people go and explore what they want to do. Or you can keep creating billionaires and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. That's one side's think about it. But I'm gonna say go do what you got to do. Go to college, don't go to college. It's just enjoy your life.
Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, man, I it got so bleak. I just fizzled out there at the end. I didn't know how to end that. I was like, what do I say, guys? I don't.
Yeah, I
But
think you did it though. The fall of college. It makes sense as far as the population is dwindling down more and more, so people aren't realizing to go to college. Influencers has become such a popularity thing where, oh, I can just stream, do something online, and people are starting to make a living off of that.
yeah. Anyway, off of the topics. That is the topics for the week. with that, are we going to get into some recommendations?
Yeah, let's get in some recommendations. Maybe something that's not so bleak, a little more lighthearted and enjoyable.
I hope so. And I've been talking. I'm going to let you start this one.
Yeah, I feel like your whole college spiel and everything and money being involved leads me to my
Mm-hmm.
segue pretty well. My
Oh, okay.
recommendation this week is QE, which is a board
I'm
game.
sorry. What's that? Q? The letter
Q,
Q?
the letter Q, the letter E,
Okay.
which stands for quantitative easing. If you don't know what that
That
is,
sounds like a Kama Sutra term.
it's not.
All right. I mean, could have fooled me. All right.
So it's a monetary policy in which a central bank prints new money in order to buy government bonds or other financial assets to stimulate the economy.
You're going to have to convince me to play this one.
I think you have played this before.
Oh, no.
So pretty much the premise was tied QE. It's 2008 and the economy is crashing. You play as one of the largest nations in the world, and it is your job to save the economy by printing money to bail out companies. So the way the game works out, it's an auction-based game. You're trying to buy certain companies, and you have a blank check to write whatever amount you want to.
I have played this.
But the catch is, if you spend the most money, you're eliminated from the game and you can't win. So it's all about blind bets and trying to be the person that doesn't bet the most, but still wins enough of the companies.
Yes, it's a fun game, and it is, I mean, it's competitive because you're trying to be real sneaky about how much you're willing to bet on certain things. And then sometimes I feel like I just kept buying everything. I don't know. They've got a crazy,
it's got a good
like
concept
crazy
behind it because you don't know what other people are betting.
Yeah.
To where you could have bid like a really low number, but everyone still went below you, so you're fine. Or you went high and went like $1 billion, and everyone went like $1,000.
Right, or they did like 2 billion, and you're like, I'm way over, and then you're like, oh shit, I was actually conservative for my amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good game that could ramp from like 0 to 10 real quick.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. I totally forgot about that bad boy. We're not going to talk about Corridor on this, maybe on a later episode. But let's see. My recommendation. Let me remember what I put down here. It is. Oh yeah. So I'm late to this game, which means most of you maybe have already seen this, or now that when this episode releases, it's even further out from this. But Adolescence on Netflix. It's a 4-episode miniseries. That's it. It's a contained story. It was recommended to me a while ago when I finally got around to watching it just a couple days ago, and it basically is done, and like each episode is done in a one shot, like a one take, everybody just going through, and there's some crafty editing in there to where you're like, well, this obviously wasn't all one take, and I maybe I'm talking out of my ass and it was all one take, but they'll move locations, but the camera always never cuts. It just follows, and if somebody walks by, then they turn the camera and follow that person to continue the story. And like even if they get into a car, basically it's almost like it's mounted on the windshield, and then when they park, they get out, and it's really cool to see. And even more so than that, the one take angle to it is that the acting is just incredible. I know the kid that played the quote unquote adolescent in that I think he won a Golden Globe for his performance, and it's just watching these actors just continue a scene and go back and forth with the amount and the dark story that they're telling is just, it's really good. So I would recommend anybody that hasn't already seen it, go and check it out. It's like, again, it's only 4 episodes, but I mean, they're like hour and a half long. But yeah, that is my recommendation.
So it kind of reminds me, not necessarily, but Birdman, where it's all continuously one take from scene to scene.
Yeah, but they do some clever editing because they didn't do that entire fucking movie. But yeah. No, I just like that premise, and there's been some good shows that have pulled off like legit one takes for like 20 minutes or so, and it's just always incredible to see that. That's just an acting skill that I think is just, man, it blows me away. But
it's an acting skill, but also I feel like an incredible storytelling skill for someone to write in, hey, we're going to move it to this scene with what we have available to us, rather than just, all right, cut, next part.
Yeah, so to your point, it's even it's a bigger feat for even directing and the crew to have the crew plan this out and make sure that they're moving the cameras with the actors and not missing their cue, because if you miss your cue, the entire thing has to be started over, and it's just that's got to be nerve-wracking. But yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well, I guess with that, what are we watching next week?
The movie for next week, and I'm picking this because it's going to be, love is in the air. It's a love story.
I'm rolling my eyes, everyone.
To Valentine's Day. It is.
Now I'm definitely rolling my fucking eyes.
It's a movie I have always really enjoyed. It's called The Family Man, with Nicolas Cage, I believe Tia Leone, and Don Cheadle's in there. Like it's more of a drama than a dramedy for sure, but it's a really cool conceit, and I really recommend everybody watch it. So yeah, we will be talking about that next week.
Well, lucky for me, I own that movie.
Do you? Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. It's been sitting on my shelf since we first started this podcast, because it was on our list.
Oh, so was it on an underrated list?
I bought it in preparation to watch it, but it just never made it last time.
See, you knew, you held out, and it came back around. The purchase was worth it. Now, yeah, I'm excited to actually rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it's just a really good movie. Anyway, I won't tout it anymore. If you want to watch it, do so. If not, you can still listen to the episode. We'll kind of do a recap, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess during the week, where can they get a hold of us?
Oh, so let me try this, guys. We tried this last week. We're gonna try this again here. Okay, let's see if Nate keeps up here. Okay. So please follow us on the socials, like, comment, do whatever, follow us at the Indecisight Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, and tell
the super cool people you like. Oh shit, that's the callback to your opening.
From last episode. Guys, we hope you're listening to these in order. This is your first one. Apologies all around.
These callbacks are not working out.
They better, this is how the pros do it. Yeah.
And by those super cool people, I mean those shitty neighbors that play music too loud for you.
Yes, the ones. Now I have to say I hate them. I don't hate them. What if they don't know it's that loud? They should. I think they do, but I can't know for sure. But yes, aside from them, tell the people you hate, because any listen's a good listen, and we just want people to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
With that, I got no sign out. There was no movie.
You still got it. You got to think of something based on it now. What do you got? What do you got for me? I'm not letting you off the hook.
Money doesn't buy happiness.
Oh, you're right. Guys, you know what money does buy? Board games. And it's fucking Candyland.
There you go.
That work? Play that game. All right. Bye, guys.